Hey guys, welcome back. It is LBB Ronnie back with another video. I took a week off in between this and the last upload, just because everything going on in the world. I'm not gonna go too much into detail about it because there are plenty of other YouTubers that go into great detail and go into why this movement matters. Ricky and Elliot over at Internet Today do a great job talking about the subject, so definitely go over to their channel, watch them. I know this is, I'm a small channel, but hey, they do a great job of talking about everything that's going on, and I pretty much agree with them. So yeah. Anyways, onto the meat and potatoes. This episode is a very special episode. Um, as you can tell, I'm clearly caffeinated, so yay! Um, this episode is dedicated to the 2020 graduates. Welcome to the real world. Um, I hope high school was great for you. Honestly speaking, you know, high school didn't really teach you too much about life, and yeah. So that's a grim reality. It took me a while to realize, after graduating. Um, don't, if you're taking a gap year, really make sure you take that time to figure out what you want to do. Because high school, they tell you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, and honestly, that is just not true. It isn't for everyone. Just like therapy, therapy isn't for everyone. But honestly, if you just want to go to a trade school, do a 2 year program, do a 1 semester course, my what was it called? My EKG course was like a semester, and it was like every single week, 1 day a week, but all the homework was online and everything. So really and truly, I did just as much as regular class. I want to say, kind of, not really, but whatever. Um, but yeah, don't feel like you have to go put yourself in debt with, a major university or any university for that matter. There's definitely a help apply for every single college scholarship that you can apply for. Do it for the love of God, please. It will save you so much money, and that's money that you know you could get, but the worst thing that could happen is you don't get that money. But for every time that you do get a single dollar, that's one less dollar you have to give to the college. But do it, please, for the love of God. For those of you taking the gap year, i.e., me, honestly, don't feel bad about it. You know, I, out of all my friends that went to university straight out of the gate, I want to say about 15 of them have changed their majors. And I'm not talking about once, I'm not talking about twice, it could have been 3 times. I have a friend that graduated, back in 2010, and he's still in school. Or not 2010, 2012, and he's still in school. That's a whole 8 years of extra schooling. So don't don't feel like you have to do it right out of the gate, because honestly, you could decide, hey, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe, I don't know, being a doctor sucks. Doctors are great, but maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you were just peer pressured into going. I know my parents really want my sister to become a nurse, and she's just like, she talks to me about the pressures because she just graduated last year, and the year before, the year prior, and last year was her first full year of college. This year she's deciding to take a gap year, but she her biggest concern is that, like, what if I don't want to do that? What if I don't want to be a doctor? I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. I'm like, well, who's making you? And she's like, mom and dad. I'm like, well, mom and dad are only mom and dad. They can't control you. That's a question for you to answer. What do you want to do? For me, I was lost. I was at a complete loss. My senior year, I knew I didn't want to do college right out the gate because it just wasn't in the cards for me at the time. I realized, like, I'm not getting any scholarships. I'm just not sure what I want to do with my life. I just don't know. And for a good minute, I was thinking about joining the Navy because, well, what else am I gonna do? I was thinking about joining the Navy, and my parents decided, hey, one more kiddo, wouldn't be too bad. And so my wonderful other sister was born. So it's very surreal. By the way, we're in the year 2020, and she just finished her first year of kindergarten, and I'm like, oh my god, what have I done with my life? I'm only getting older and not doing much. But But as I may have mentioned in the first video, I am planning on going back to school. So I got that looking forward for me, or that to look forward to. But other than that, I was looking to go into the Navy, but for me as a well, in Latin American families, family is everything. Family is key, and I know that's with a lot of other cultures, but I can only speak for myself, a Latin American, but I didn't want to leave my mom, my dad, without any help with this newborn child, and it's like, yeah, they've had three at this point, but you know, um, you know, it's gonna be really weird for me to go on an active duty, contract, and then come back, go and behold, my sister's now two, and she has no idea who I am. And I know, I have a decent understanding that that's not how the contracts work. That you're gone for that set period of time, but you know, to a 2 year old or a 1 year old or hell, a newborn, you know, those periods of times that you are there are just as important as the periods of time that you're gone. You can't build that big of a connection while someone's gone. And that's why I really applaud like our active duty soldiers and everything, even reservesmen. They give up so much of their life to make sure that we have our everyday freedoms. I you know we're able to go outside and not worry about the government snatching up people, but you know they probably do anyways. But conspiracy theories aside, all jokes aside, we have these undeniable freedoms, and so you gotta thank them. Gotta think that we don't have the Russians or the Chinese marching down the streets and taking what they want when they want, etc., etc. But yeah. So I decided, hey, family comes first. The Navy seems cool. Maybe later down the pipeline, and that's a joke, that ongoing joke with me and my girlfriend. I'm like, you know, you cheat on me, I'm going to join the Navy. I'm leaving. You won't find me for like the first. I think boot camp's like 8 weeks. Someone correct me in the comments below, but pretty sure it's like 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I'm like, mess up, you won't see me again. But fuck around and find out. All jokes aside, though, that was my mindset. So I decided to start working at Starbucks for the first time. That was fun until I realized customer service absolutely blows. And then I started doing tile work with my dad for the first time. Note, I said the first time. Um, which I don't know why. I enjoyed that for a while, but then I started working at a local college. Working the games and everything, basketball, football, etc., etc., which was fun. I made a lot of great friends over that period of time. Um, Eventually, my younger sister, she ended up working there with me, and we have even more of a blast. And my cousin ended up getting a job there with us, so that was fun. But yeah, working there was pretty great. I mean, you meet a lot of cool people on college campuses. You meet a lot of awesome people. So, oh, look at that. The first clip is over. I don't remember what I put for the second one. So, enjoy that in the background while this is going on. But anyways, I worked there for a, a very long time. Um, Even while I was at Starbucks and working with my dad, I went there during the weekends because my marching band in high school, we did volunteer work through them, and so when graduation time came around, they offered me a job, and I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll do it. And at the time, it was my highest paid job. Because like seven 25, it's not good. And I know some people are living off of that. The struggle is real, but 725 is not doable at all. But yeah, so there was that part of my life. Then eventually I went back to Starbucks for the second time, and that's where I met my girlfriend. So yeah. And also simultaneously, I started working full time with my dad again, so doing the tile thing. So there was that. But over the past 5 years, 5 years since I graduated, I kind of just been like coasting and thinking. Honestly, I know I went into a little detail about how I still from time to time think about joining the Navy, and I was like, I'll get a pay cut if I do that. Like I will make less money than I do now, and I'm doing. I'm not saying that I'm poor, but I'm not saying that I'm rich either. I'm doing average, and that's okay with me. But I really do think about joining it from time to time, and I probably should stop. But before I fuck around and everybody finds out. But yeah. But during the last 2 years, from 2018 to present, I started going to the gym heavily, which honestly became more therapeutic than anything like I have done to that point. Um, Honestly, because I had gained a lot of weight after high school. Because during high school, I did sports, I did theater, I did band, and that makes you sweat a lot, all of it, just in combination. I remember my freshman year was the worst of it because um, I did soccer, I did varsity soccer. I tried out for the football team and lasted a week until I realized, hey, concussions are a thing. Let's not play. Let's not play that. Let's not do that. I did wrestling for one season, which I was all right. It wasn't good. I wasn't bad. I was just there. Um, then theater. I did all 4 years of high school, which I absolutely recommend to anyone who may be entering high school at this time. Definitely do it. It definitely is fun. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much why I stayed skinny during high school, and then I graduated. I kept eating like I was, doing things that burned off my entire calorie count for the day, and then some. And so, your metabolism slows down. Time is a very fickle bitch. But your metabolism slows down, and then, oh look, 20 pounds. Tee hee, I'm okay. Oh, look, 50 pounds. Oh my god. Another 50. Oh my god, I'm 250 pounds. Oof. Let me say that again. Oof. But, seriously, guys, like, watch what you, it is really hard to lose weight once you gain it. But, yeah, 250 pounds was where I maxed out. And then by 2018, I realized I was like, I've been loathing myself and wallowing in depression for too long. Let's finally use that gym membership. And so I quit Planet Fitness. Nothing against them. They're currently the gym I'm with because when you move out, you have to make sacrifices, right? At least, I keep telling myself that because I absolutely hate Planet Fitness. But I'm back with Planet Fitness right now because Gold's Gym is, $40 for one membership. It's kind of expensive when, Planet Fitness I pay $20 and I can take my girlfriend with me, but it's fine, right? Little does she know I plan on going back to Gold's. But after quarantine is over. But yeah. I realized that hey, I'm getting fat and I'm depressed about being fat and I keep stress eating making me more fat. And people that like suffer from depression, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know. I'm sorry that you know, but you know. But I started going to the gym and I did what my girlfriend calls destroying my body. And so I went twice a day for an hour and a half in the morning and then an hour after. But the hour after work would always be like just cardio, something very light. Um, but then I dropped, I want to say about 70 pounds within that first year. And I was so proud of myself. And I kept holding it off, and then I started doing theater again. Still doing fine with that because the first show I did back into theater was a musical, so very dance heavy. It was Once on This Island, and we had a great choreographer, Sweet Merciful Buddha. I sweat there as much as I did at the gym sometimes, just because dance rehearsal is no joke. But excuse me, that is not the virus, I swear. But yeah, so would sweat a literal ass load. I think all of us did though, and I learned two things. Because that show was my first show in a while, and ironically enough, the last show I did in high school was actually the very same show we did, Once on This Island. which was
So that
really
was
fun to audition for that show again. Um, for those of you who know, Once on this Island, the first go round I did, I was Papa Gay, and the second go round, I believe I was ensemble, the gatekeeper, and who else? Yeah, ensemble and the gatekeeper, which honestly was pretty fun. Oh, I was the bozo, one of the bozums. Oh God, what was his name? Jesus, you can tell my age because I keep forgetting every single detail of my life. but um, but yeah, that musical was fun too. I think it was 2, 3 years in between that show and the last show I did. So doing that was fun. The audition was dreadful, honestly, because my knees were shaking like nobody's business. I'm like, why am I nervous? Oh right, we haven't done this in a while. Still, why am I nervous? We should just audition like any other audition. We haven't done this in a while though. Shut up. No. Okay. So the self doubt just was really great that day, but eventually I made it. Then after that I did. Let's say one another show. I don't remember what. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into my theater stuff. If you guys want, I can go into some of my wacky theater stories. I definitely have a lot of theater party stories, which, whoops, those are a lot of fun. But yeah, like I'm telling all these side stories just because I want to kind of portray, hey, I may have not gone to college, but like, I still lived life. Not as much as I would, if I would have gone to college and studied theater like I wanted to, um, I probably would have been more heavily involved with theater already than, more than I already was, but, for obvious reasons. But that's beyond the point. But yeah, I honestly lived a lot more by not stressing out about classes every single day. Realize, over these past few years, I've realized, hey, construction work sucks. Like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And I feel like that may have been one of the factors leading into why I was doing very well, doing so well in my course, even though it was just one class. NA doesn't earn itself, and it's very easy to fail a class. It's harder to actually do good in a class. So I feel like doing all of that, doing all the jobs I did, and realizing retail work sucks, construction work sucks. I need to do something with my life that isn't this. And I know it seems weird that I still think about joining the Navy from time to time because like you know, honestly, it routines are nice, at least for me. Like I prefer to have like a set routine. I know some people like living life, go with the flow and everything, but for me, I like being a schedule. Um, I was explaining this exact thing to my girlfriend the other day. Like, I'm happiest when I'm always doing something. Yes, partially because it distracts me from actually looking inward, but like also I just enjoy doing things. Um, a lot of people thought I was crazy my freshman year of high school for doing so many sports, and so many extracurriculars, but I loved every second of it. Was I stressed out to the max? But it helped. I learned so much about myself, so much about other people and everything. Just because I didn't do that, I didn't go the norm and stress myself out with like, how am I going to pay for college? Ooh, look at that loan over there. But I'm gonna, just keep it simple. You don't need to go to school to be successful, but it does help. You don't need to, you don't need to take a gap year if you don't want to, but it does help. You don't need to take 5 years to yourself, but it does help. The thing I'm trying to say is like, figure out what you want and who you are. Take that time at least, because even if you're just taking the summer to figure that out, you may lose friendships because you realize I shouldn't be hanging out with these people because they don't want, me and them don't agree on like a fundamental level. But sometimes I've let some friendships go, and honestly, it sucked for a while, but maybe it was better off that way. You know, the path I was going down was self-destructive, and I turned it around. and I hope you can too. But anyways, sorry to go all mushy on you. You guys have a good one. I will be uploading a new video very, very soon. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you next time. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe. Please and thank you. Bye, guys.